Welcome to Scripps News Weekend. I'm Patrick Terpstra in Washington. Let's get you caught up on some top stories. Just as Spirit Airlines was getting ready to shut down, some hope from President Trump. Telling reporters today the budget airline has his administration considering giving the airline a final proposal which they received on a federal bailout to save the carrier from going under. You may remember President Trump initially appeared receptive to using tax dollars to save the airline, proposing a $500 million package with the U.S. taking a stake in the company. But that idea sparked backlash from both sides of the political aisle. Spirit has filed for bankruptcy protection twice already. Gas prices surged 9 cents overnight to $4.39 a gallon. That is up 33 cents in the past week alone, and it's the highest price Americans have seen since 2022 after Russia invaded Ukraine. Some drivers in Michigan say they have had enough, and now they're blaming the Trump administration.
For me personally, I have family members who are ill, and I can't go visit them across the state or up north because it's too expensive right now to drive. With gas almost $5 a gallon, that's just ridiculous.
Gas prices don't affect just gas prices. It's also the price of groceries. It's the price, of just everything that's in the economy.
According to AAA, gas prices have jumped about 47% since the war in Iran started 60 days ago. A new survey finding the war is unpopular here at home. According to a new Washington Post ABC News Ipsos poll out today, 61% of U.S. adults say it was a mistake for the U.S. to use military force against Iran. That's 9 in 10 Democrats feeling that way, as well as 7 in 10 independents. But just 19% of Republicans say the war was a mistake. This afternoon, President Trump telling Congress the military operation in Iran is now, quote, terminated. Today marking 60 days of the war in which Congress technically needed to sign off on further military action. That is spelled out in the War Powers Resolution of 1973 that we've been talking about today, but not all Republicans appeared to support extending the war. Scripps News White House correspondent Jacob Garden-Schwartz is live from the North Lawn of the White House right now. Good evening to you, Jacob. Your team got that letter from the president that spells out this termination of the war. But what exactly does that mean as ceasefire negotiations, of course, are still ongoing?
Yeah, good afternoon. Honestly, there are so many questions coming out of that. I think it's helpful to take a step back and think about how we got here before we dig into the letter itself and what it means. It was 60 days ago that the president first informed Congress that he was beginning this campaign against Iran. Those bombings rang out the morning of February 28th, and within 48 hours, as required by law, he transmitted a formal notice to Congress indicating that the U.S. was engaging with hostilities in Iran. Now, that began a 60-day clock. The president had 60 days to continue these hostilities. Anything beyond that required approval from Congress. Democrats tried to force multiple votes to stop the president's war ahead of that 60-day timeline. Those have continually failed. So that takes us to today, when that 60-day timeline was set to expire. Now the administration is saying, in fact, the war ended a long time ago. The president writing in a letter to House and Senate leaders that, quote, there has been no exchange of fire between United States forces in Iran since April 7th, 2026. The hostilities that began on February 28th, 2026 have terminated. Of course, as we know, that April 7th deadline or date when the president first announced the 2-week ceasefire with Iran that has since been extended. However, in the same letter, the president seeming to note that there are still concerns with Iran. He writes, quote, the threat posed by Iran to the United States and our armed forces remains significant. Accordingly, the Department of War continues to update its force posture in the area of responsibility. Of course, we know this because we can see that the naval blockade of Iranian ports, ships transporting oil to and from them in the Strait of Hormuz, remains in effect. So according to the president, hostilities may have been terminated, but there is clearly still an issue with Iran. Now, on to the broader question of what happens now, right? We were supposed to hit this deadline. Where do we go from here? Well, it's really on House and Senate, Congress people to act. At this point, we have reached out to the Republican leaders on both sides. No response yet. We have heard from some Democrats who, as you might expect, are critical of this move. We've also heard from some national security leaders, lawyers, people who study the law about these sorts of things. And they say that this is not only concerning about how it impacts the Iran conflict, but also the future of how presidents are able to declare war with or without congressional approval. What's to stop a future president from suggesting there's a ceasefire at day 57 or 58, then turning around at day 61 and starting over again, over and over again? Here's how one of those lawyers, Catherine Von Ebright, who's counsel in the National Security Program at the Brennan Center for Justice, put it to me earlier this afternoon. Listen.
Could we be looking at a 120-day clock, in fact, with a short respite of 7 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Could we be looking at a 180-day clock, right? Like, there is no limiting principle. Failing to rein them in within that initial 60-day period already sets a very bad precedent and sends the wrong signal to the presidency, and not just this presidency, but future presidencies.
So how will lawmakers react? Well, as I noted, we have not yet heard from Republican leaders of either chamber. They are all out of town, of course, right now. Congress is out of session back in district work, talking to their constituents, not expected to gavel back in for at least a week. So we will not hear from them. To your point at the top, though, we have heard some, growing criticisms from a few select Republicans that they did not want this war to extend beyond 60 days. Will they buy the administration's argument that it ended a couple of weeks ago? We'll have to wait and see exactly from them how they respond to this latest letter. Patrick.
Jacob, then there is still this issue of the Strait of Hormuz that Iran is effectively keeping closed. Of course, the U.S. has got that blockade that's restricting traffic there. We are seeing the effects at the gas pump with that. So what is the latest on any effort to try to reopen this critical strait?
Well, as the administration is claiming that the war has been terminated, the same day they are noting that they are not in agreement with Iran about a way to open the Strait of Hormuz and address a number of the president's concerns that prompted him to start this war. Iran's nuclear program, securing the enriched uranium. We heard from the president earlier today, who confirmed that he received the latest offer sent by Iran to Pakistani mediators sometime last night. We don't yet know what their offer was, but we do know that the president said he was not satisfied. Listen.
They want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it, so we'll see what happens. We're doing everything in terms of negotiating right now, in terms of the negotiation telephonically. They've made strides, but I'm not sure if they ever get there. It's a very disjointed leadership, and with that being said, they all want to make a deal, but they're all messed up.
The president expressing some pessimism that he will ever be able to reach a deal with Iranian leaders. He did confirm that he met with his national security team yesterday, including the leader of CENTCOM, the combatant command with jurisdiction over the Middle East, as well as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who presented him with some new military options to re-enter hostilities should it come to that point. On the list of options was, in the president's words, blowing the hell out of them. Now, the president said he does not want to take that route. He's hopeful to try to reach some sort of diplomatic solution ahead of time. But in the meantime, we know that this, some form of conflict is continuing. The blockade remains in effect. The strait remains effectively closed. And yet the administration claims the war has been terminated. Patrick.
Okay, Scripps News White House correspondent Jacob Garden-Schwartz there at the White House reporting live. Jacob, thank you always. Well, while we are all trying to figure out what exactly the word terminated means when the president talks about terminating the war with Iran, what we do know is that the U.S. is weighing if it should deploy hypersonic missiles in the fight. Scripps News senior international correspondent Jason Bellini has this report.
Patrick, Russia's been firing hypersonic weapons at Ukraine for 4 years. The United States has never fired one in combat. That gap may be about to close in the Middle East. This is reportedly the first ever footage released of the Dark Eagle missile mounted on a B-1, a clear sign the Air Force is moving forward with integrating hypersonic weapons onto one of its most capable bombers. U.S. Central Command has asked the Pentagon to deploy Dark Eagle, the Army's long-range hypersonic weapon, to the region. The driver? Intelligence showing Iran has repositioned ballistic missile launchers beyond the reach of existing U.S. strike systems. The Precise Strike missile tops out around 300 miles. Dark Eagle reaches roughly 1,700. It can also be deployed using mobile ground launchers. The Dark Eagle is a boost glide system. A rocket fires it into the upper atmosphere, then it maneuvers at Mach 5, 5 times the speed of sound or faster on the way down. No ballistic arc, no predictable path. Seconds of warning time at best. CENTCOM's request is under Pentagon review. Status currently unknown. The U.S. and Iran are technically under ceasefire, but here's the catch. Dark Eagle has never been used in combat. Fielding only began in December. Pentagon testers have formally noted insufficient data on readiness and lethality. Meanwhile, Russia has fired its Kinzhal hypersonic missile nearly 100 times at Ukraine. There, unlike Iran, most of Putin's hypersonics intercepted by U.S. Patriot missiles or Ukrainian electronic warfare defenses. Iran's hypersonic defenses presumed to be non-existent. What the Dark Eagle request really signals isn't firepower. It's a gap years in the making that the U.S. is still racing to close. Patrick?
President Trump touting the Dow nearly hitting 50,000 points, and that is despite the Iran operation. You're looking at how the Dow closed a short time ago, 49,499 points, just short of that 50,000 mark, and in the red today. Scripps News correspondent Mitch McCann is keeping an eye on the economy for us. Good afternoon to you, Mitch. So a strong week on the markets. What is behind the growth?
Yeah, that's right. Good afternoon from New York, Patrick. Look, as you mentioned, the Dow Jones was down slightly today, but the other indexes that we monitor finished much higher. The S&P 500 closed up 0.3%, rounding off a really strong week. It was up about 1.2% over the week. The NASDAQ finished up 0.9% up at the close today, gaining more than 1.3% this week. So it was a strong finish on Friday after what had been a good few days for investors. Now, the question you asked is what's behind these strong results? And I think, we consider that the conflict in the Middle East, there's yet to be an agreement signed there. We know that the global oil supply remains constrained. So why are the markets performing so well? Well, the answer largely comes down to the quarterly earnings that we have seen this week, most notably from some of the major tech companies, and the fact that a handful of those Mag 7 companies, as we call them, have such a significant impact on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ shows just how powerful they are. One example for you is Apple. Now, Apple stock closed about 3.3% up at the close a short time ago, after the company posted a fiscal second quarter earnings and revenue beat, and it provided a stronger revenue outlook than what analysts had expected. But at the same time this week, Alphabet was perhaps the standout. The parent company of Google are reporting revenue growth of a whopping 22%, around $109 billion. So all in all, a very good week on the markets with the indexes boosted by those strong earnings reports.
So, Mitch, definitely some good news there for investors, but there's also been some warning signs over the price of oil. Of course, a lot of us taking a look at gas prices. What's going on there?
Yeah, this is a real concern. And the warning comes from ExxonMobil's chief executive. He told shareholders on an earnings call that the market hasn't fully absorbed the impact of the oil supply disruption that started after this conflict began. The chief executive said the disruption has been mitigated by a few factors. Oil tankers that were already in transit during the first month of the war, strategic petroleum reserves have been released by some governments, and commercial inventories have been drawn down as well. That's private companies releasing their own reserves. He says that one of these sources is going to become exhausted at some point in the future if the situation continues. The price of Brent crude a couple of moments ago was around $108 a gallon. That is down from 119 in the last few days, but it's important. This is well above where it was at the start of the war, around $71. So the impact for everyday drivers who use gasoline in their car, that means the average price of gas in America right now is about $4.39 a gallon. That's compared to $3.20 at the same time last year. So a big impact for everyday Americans.
Absolutely. Scripps News correspondent Mitch McCann reporting for us live in New York. Mitch, thank you so much. Those rising gas prices are also cutting into the bottom line for some small businesses. Scripps News Group's Kayla McDermott spoke with a lawn care owner in Florida who is now rethinking how he works while trying to keep prices fair for customers.
I'm Kayla McDermott, your West Palm Beach reporter, where I'm seeing gas prices at over $4 a gallon. And the strain that we're all feeling in our gas tanks, lawn care services are also struggling with the high prices while on the job.
It's too much. But as they say, what goes up must come down.
From trucks to trimmers, nearly every piece of equipment runs on fuel.
We have to do mixed gas and regular gas.
And as gas prices rise due to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, so does the cost of doing business.
It impacted me by a lot.
Vince Jean-Baptiste runs JB Landscaping.
This is going to be my 3rd year in business.
He's been pumping the money he makes right back into his tanks.
Fill up my fuel, and then my personal vehicle, and then my work truck, 2 mowers.
Telling me filling up every week is costing hundreds.
It's been about $300, 2.5 times a week, give or take.
We're seeing it countrywide.
Gene Caballero is with GreenPal, connecting homeowners with lawn care services.
In my 25 years, I haven't seen a large increase like we're having right now.
He says rising fuel prices are now forcing businesses to rethink pricing.
Kind of seeing like a 10-15% increase. They can't bear that weight forever.
For Baptiste, he's doing what he can to keep prices down.
I try to give homeowners a break because they're not getting paid more either.
But he tells me if prices to fill up don't go down by the summer.
Try to go 9-10% from what I'm charging.
Have the people that you service usually been understanding?
I've been grateful with them, so should be understanding.
Kayla McDermott, Scripps News Group. Federal prosecutors released new video related to the shooting at the White House Correspondents Association dinner where President Donald Trump was in attendance. I'm legal affairs correspondent Ava Joy Burnett. Coming up, I'll have more details on what this new video shows.
Now on your favorite channel.
Katie, what do you have for us today?
Shop Scripps, the hottest destination for today's latest deals. Featuring everything from safety to beauty and everything in between. The latest in tech, home and garden must-haves, travel and everyday upgrades. It's everything you love to shop with exclusive deals at unbeatable savings.
31% off, 50% off, 87% off.
The best deals live at shopscripps.com.
These disasters made the world stop and ask, what happened?
There is only one theory that stacks up.
I saw the fire crawling down.
Who is to blame?
They're not listening. We're going to lose one of these shuttles.
And what can we learn?
This could happen again tomorrow.
What Went Wrong? Premieres Friday at 8. Streaming on Scripps News.
Who will lift the trophy as champions of Major League Volleyball in 2026?
Well executed there.
Watch the Major League Volleyball semifinals Thursday at 7 and championships Saturday at 3. It's on ION.
Killer's on the loose. We gotta find him.
We've got 30 minutes before he strikes again.
They're officially on the clock now.
Why start killing her again now?
We just found a connection.
Go building to building, door to door.
I'll do a cursory examination. We're right on the killer's tail.
I think you just found our serial killer.
So what do you have in store for me today?
The best man just got a little better.
Getting ready for my big fight.
Who are you about to get in the ring with, arthritis?
Just being a Foxworthy.
Well, just knock it off.
That's quite an image.
Just wanted to make it ridiculous. You keep me coming back for more.
So, who's feeling adventurous?
This is gonna be fun. How do I look?
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, yeah.
Ion is the home of women's sports. We celebrate the trailblazers, the risk takers, the game changers, and the history makers. Every game, every moment, it's her time on Ion, the home of women's sports.
You're watching Scripps News, part of the Scripps News Group.
New video shows the man accused of trying to assassinate President Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last weekend. And that video was taken a day before the attack. Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Abijoy Burnett joins us now live from our D.C. newsroom. Good afternoon to you, Abijoy. So a DOJ official is saying that the new video proves that the suspect shot a Secret Service agent Saturday night, that it wasn't friendly fire. What can you tell us?
Well, this is information that is coming from the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro. She posted this video on social media last evening, and she said that this is proof that Cole Thomas Allen is the one who fired off that round that hit a Secret Service agent. We must note that the Secret Service agent is okay because they were wearing a bulletproof vest. But this video, it's just more than 5 minutes long, and we have gotten a couple of clips here so that we can show you, walk you through what is happening here. And with clip number 1, this was taken just the day before, Friday evening. If you look at the top left corner of your screen, it says 4:24. That was on Friday. The time there is 20:59:20 as the clock continues to tick. That is right before 9 in the evening, and you see the suspect there, according to officials, walking down the hallway. He appears to stop, look towards his left, make some sort of hand gesture as he looks possibly down a hallway. We're not quite sure. But then he shows up here. And this is the door to the gym in that facility at that Washington Hilton Hotel. It appears as if he takes out a key card from his wallet, scans the key card, and then eventually gains access to that gym and takes some time to put it back in his wallet, possibly. Then he enters that space there, and it is empty for the most part. There's someone who's standing or sitting there on the side towards his left. He kind of walks in, looks around, puts the wallet back in his pocket, and at one point he actually turns around right here and looks to the person who is sitting there and has some sort of conversation with them, walks over. As the video speeds up a bit, you can tell where he walks to a different location in that gym, walks down to the other end, and then eventually he leaves that particular facility. That was on Friday night. In the second piece of video, officials say this was on the night of the White House Correspondents Association dinner, where President Donald Trump was in attendance. And with this video, once again, you see the time frame there, sometime after 8 in the evening. There's a moment right at the top left-hand corner of the screen where it appears as if there's a K9 unit that follows the suspect inside that doorway. Just keep an eye on that doorway to the top left. As that K9 unit, along with the officer, steps away, this is when you see someone dart out of that door with what appears to be a weapon in hand. And then, according to prosecutors, he started shooting. Pretty instantaneously, you see all of the officers, different agents there, flood the area with their weapons drawn. Shots were fired. What the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia is saying is that video proves that Cole Thomas Allen is the one who fired that shot that hit the agent. Some experts who've looked at this video say it's not quite clear at this moment, because usually you wait for ballistics to come back before making such a conclusion, drawing such a conclusion. I was able to speak with a former federal prosecutor who has been following this case, and he reminded us that it is not unusual for these types of videos to be released before trial. Think of body camera video, for example. But what he says is unusual is the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia speaking about this publicly. Take a listen to what this former federal prosecutor told me.
You wait for ballistic tests to come back, and you wait for all of the analysis to be done by experts before you start coming to conclusions. So releasing the video is fine. It is the editorialization of what's on the video that I find dramatically problematic for an independent-minded prosecutor.
Now, legal experts have said there's a possibility that defense attorneys for Allen could use the release of this video and the commentary that supports this video that's coming from officials as grounds to ask for some sort of change of venue or to make some sort of motions in court once trial actually gets started. Now, just to refresh your memory on the allegations, the charges, the federal charges against Allen, he is accused of attempting to assassinate the president of the United States. You see the charges right there. There's also a second count of discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence, and then transportation of a firearm and ammunition in interstate commerce. This is an incident that happened nearly a week ago. Allen has not entered a plea of guilty or not guilty as yet. He was in court yesterday. He remains behind bars. His next court appearance will be on May 11th, and that is when he will possibly enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. Once again, that next court hearing for Allen will be on May 11th. Patrick?
Joy, are they saying anything about that canine that is in the video? It seems like that canine came really close to maybe hitting on the suspect there, but then didn't. It's really pretty chilling to see.
Well, officials have not really said anything about that canine unit. The U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia released the video, and there's no reference of that. Of course, it's folks who are out there on social media who are able to kind of look at every detail of these pieces of video and really just bring to light that particular aspect of this. We were able to speak with an official from the University of Virginia with regards to that. And what that one official told us is that this doesn't necessarily condemn the actions of the officer who was handling that canine unit. It's just a moment that really stood out to many folks because it appears as if the canine unit followed Allen into that doorway, and it appeared as if his handler was kind of holding him back. There's a possibility that that handler was having some sort of conversation with Allen, but then the handler just walked away. Maybe there was no red flag for that handler. And as he turned his back and as that dog, the canine unit, followed its handler, that's when we saw Allen dart out of the hallway, weapon drawn, and then he ran towards all of those officers by the magnetometer. It's worth noting here that once Allen went into the door the first time when that unit followed him, the canine unit followed him, it did not appear as if it was very apparent that he had that weapon. There's a possibility that he had it on his body. We're not quite sure. We're not sure what's happening here because you cannot hear what's being said. And the officials who released this video, they haven't released anything that could give us additional context as to what that particular officer may have heard or what additional interactions that officer may have had with the suspect. So, Patrick, a lot of questions here. Some of this may come out in trial, but at this moment, we're waiting for the next court appearance, which will be on May 11th. Between now and then, though, defense or prosecutors are supposed to share additional pieces of evidence that they have with defense attorneys. This is something that is required by law.
Yeah, that video shows this all happens so fast, just a matter of seconds that that suspect ran through the metal detector there. Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Joy Burnett for us live in our newsroom. Joy, thank you always.
Who will lift the trophy as champions of Major League Volleyball in 2026?
Well executed there. Watch the Major League Volleyball semifinals Thursday at 7 and championships Saturday at 3. It's on ION.
ION is the home of women's sports. We celebrate the trailblazers, the risk takers, the game changers, and the history makers. Every game, every moment, it's her time on ION, the home of women's sports.
Get ready to hit the ice. The Professional Women's Hockey League top teams battle it out to see who reigns supreme. The PWHL Walter Cup playoff coverage starts today at 2 on Scripps Sports Network.
Everyone has a story.
Am I here?
Some are just waiting for the perfect conversation. And that's what you'll see here on Connected with Allison Camerata. 15 years after your shooting. Why is public service still worth it?
I want to make the world a better place. Keep moving forward no matter what.
Wow.
Connected with Allison Camerata. Tonight at 8, streaming on Scripps News and on the Scripps News YouTube channel.
Jesse Palmer. Emmett Smith? Both of us together? This must be some kind of TV fantasy.
Nope, it's reality. Tableau reality. Tableau lets you watch, pause, and record live TV subscription free.
Pause you, Jesse. I'm here for 100+ channels. News, reality, movies, free live sports. Plus, it's game time.
Tableau. It's not fantasy, it's reality.
And a smart play.
Learn more at TableauTV.com.
The MVP of TV.
The all-new Scripps Sports Network. Your destination for live competition. All-access moments and original shows.
Woo, let's go!
The all-new Scripps Sports Network brings you closer to the game.
ShopScripps.com, the hottest destination for today's latest deals.
Killer's on the loose. We gotta find him.
We've got 30 minutes before he strikes again.
They're officially on the clock now.
Why start killing again now?
We just found a connection.
Go building to building, door to door.
I'll do a cursory examination. We're right on the killer's tail.
I think you just found our serial killer.
With the cost of gas top of mind, and many people are looking at electric vehicles like this to save some cash, we checked in with drivers who made the switch.
And you also have the main compartment right here. I designed all this product.
James Olalaye drives back and forth from San Diego to Los Angeles every week for his business.
I do use the truck a lot for work. I pick up like vacuum seal bags, deliver sometimes to small businesses.
He logs about 120 miles each way. He switched to an electric vehicle to save at the gas station.
To just go with the Cybertruck because it's just very it saves me money over time.
Until he got his insurance premium. He says his insurance jumped to $600 a month.
Most people, they buy electric car, they don't even know about the insurance. I didn't know about it. I thought it was going to be the same.
And recent data from Insurify, an AI-powered online insurance comparison platform, shows electric vehicle drivers are paying 49% more for car insurance compared to drivers of gas vehicles. EV drivers face an average insurance cost of $4,058 a year, comparing that to the average cost to insure a gas-powered car, which is about $2,732. This is due to higher repair costs and expensive parts such as battery packs and high-tech hardware. But experts say there are ways to save. If you have an EV, ask your insurance provider to bundle discounts. Many places will offer a discount for bundling your auto insurance with your home or renter's insurance. Another option, increase your deductible. The higher your deductible, the lower your premium. And shop around.
I just had it installed in my garage.
Patty Villegas says she found an insurance carrier that increased her policy by just $35 a month. She suggests doing your research and crunch the numbers to see if buying an EV is worth it when you factor in charging costs and gas.
I drive a lot. I'm a real estate appraiser, so I'm always on the road. So I was spending between $200 to $300 per week in gas because I drive a lot.
And so now, how much are you spending a week?
Like if I charge here, it's free, and then at home, my bill is like about $20 more per month.
Marie Cornell, Scripps News Group.
Ion has women's sports all weekend long. Starting early on Thursday, the Major League Volleyball semifinals. Friday, the WNBA opening night tips off with a doubleheader. Saturday, we serve up the MLB Championship live. Who will take home the trophy? And Saturday Night Soccer offers up two major NWSL rivalries.
She scored!
Don't miss a minute of the action all weekend long on ION, the home of women's sports.
Jessica DeLuise treats you to special recipes for Mother's Day.
Breakfast in bed, decadent melt in your mouth. This is gonna blow your mind.
Fresh flavors for mom. All next week during Morning Rush, streaming on Scripps News.
The all-new Scripps Sports Network. Your destination for live competition. All-access moments and original shows.
Woo, let's go!
The all-new Scripps Sports Network brings you closer to the game.
Katie, what do you have for us today?
Shop Scripps, the hottest destination for today's latest deals.
50% off, 87% off.
ShopScripps.com.
Jesse Palmer.
Emmett Smith? Both of us together? This must be some kind of TV fantasy.
Nope, it's reality. Tableau reality. Tableau lets you watch, pause, and record live TV subscription-free.
Pause you, Jesse. I'm here for 100+ channels. News, reality, movies, free live sports. Plus, it's game time.
Tableau. It's not fantasy, it's reality.
And a smart play.
Learn more at TableauTV.com.
The MVP of TV.
Killer's on the loose. We gotta find him.
We've got 30 minutes before he strikes again.
They're officially on the clock now.
Why start killing her again now?
We just found a connection.
Go building to building, door to door.
I'll do a cursory examination. We're right on the killer's tail.
I think you just found our serial killer.
Who will lift the trophy as champions of Major League Volleyball in 2026?
Well executed there.
Watch the Major League Volleyball semifinals Thursday at 7 and championships Saturday at 3. It's on ION.
Pomp, circumstance, and patriotism, Pierside.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Naval Station Norfolk.
It is a moment in Hampton Roads, 61 years in the making.
Our ceremony today is a time-honored tradition that began with the commissioning of our first warship.
The U.S. Navy welcomes the newest guided missile destroyer to the fleet. Named for a man many say is as strong as the ship's steel.
Thanks for being here today to honor a true warrior, Barney Barnum.
The USS Harvey C. Barnum Jr. honors a retired Marine from Reedville.
Set the watch.
Sir, the watch is set.
A luminary in the Corps for courage and bravery in Vietnam. On December 18, 1965, then First Lieutenant Barnum assumed command of a group of Marines vastly outnumbered.
We were mortared and shot at all night.
The Marine officer leads a charge through enemy lines, all while evacuating his fellow wounded and dead fighters. For his life-saving actions, First Lieutenant Barnum was decorated with the nation's highest military award, the Medal of Honor.
We did what Marines do. We broke out. We showed them, don't mess with us.
Recently, I spent the day with Colonel Barnum at his home on the Northern Neck, where the 85-year-old reflected on that fateful day.
Lot of memories here.
Back at Naval Station Norfolk, decorated dignitaries and graying warriors congratulate their fellow veteran.
Doing fine because I'm with all my friends and neighbors and people I've served with, and just to be able to bring this newest warship online, it's quite an honor.
And if you ask a young Marine who Barney Barnum is, they know. They all know.
Sharing the stage with Colonel Barnum on this day is thrilling, even for the Commandant of the United States Marine Corps.
Oh, humbling. Humbling just to be in his presence. To have a living legend here is amazing. I mean, because again, he is a true living legend. One of the few living Medal of Honor recipients that we have left in this nation. And everybody should read his Medal of Honor citation, because you can't hardly make that stuff up.
Following the ceremony, invited guests, including this journalist, are invited for an exclusive tour of the Navy's newest warship.
It represents Virginia and the cornerstone of the Navy.
Former Secretary of the United States Navy John Phelan says the destroyer will project American strength on the oceans for decades.
I mean, look, I think Barney's personal motto is charge on, and he is the epitome of charge on. He's a lot of energy. He's definitely breathed life into this ship, and his wife, who's the ship's sponsor, has also done that. So I think it's a great reflection of the Marine Corps Navy unity.
Oh, my goodness. He was so emotional when he was called and said they were naming a ship after him.
Martha Hill, Colonel Barnum's wife, serves as the ship's sponsor. For years during construction in Maine and sea trials, Hill and Barnum have formed a bond with the young sailors on board.
It is the greatest honor he believes that he's ever had in his life. And for me to be the ship's sponsor, it is the greatest honor I have ever had to be involved in this. For both of us, it's just a tremendous honor.
This warship, the newest warship in the fleet, to now be titled the USS, United States Ship, Harvey C. Barnum, Jr.
It is a day more than 6 decades in the making.
Charge on!
The moment a Marine is honored, saluted by the nation and U.S. sailors across the 7 seas.
The crew is all about. That ship is a floating bunch of steel with a lot of wires and computers and guns. They don't close with, seek out, and destroy the enemy. It's the sailors who man the guns, who man the computers, who man everything else. So it's all about the crew.
The United States Navy's newest Arleigh Burke-class destroyer comes to life. The USS Harvey C. Barnum, Jr., named after a Medal of Honor recipient and American hero.
I'm Greg McQuaid, Scripps News Group.
Killer's on the loose. We gotta find him.
We've got 30 minutes before he strikes again.
They're officially on the clock now.
Why start killing her again now?
We just found a connection.
Go building to building, door to door.
I'll do a cursory examination. We're right on the killer's tail.
I think you just found our serial killer.
So, who's feeling adventurous?
This is gonna be fun. How do I look?
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you have in store for me today?
The best man just got a little better.
Getting ready for my big fight.
Who are you about to get in the ring with, arthritis?
Just being a Foxworthy.
Well, just knock it off.
That's quite an image.
Ion is the home of women's sports. We celebrate the trailblazers, the risk takers, the game changers, and the history makers. Every game, every moment, it's her time on Ion, the home of women's sports.
Who will lift the trophy as champions of Major League Volleyball in 2026?
Well executed there.
Watch the Major League Volleyball semifinals Thursday at 7 and championships Saturday at 3. It's on Ion.
The all-new Scripps Sports Network. Your destination for live competition. All-access moments and original shows.
Let's go!
The all-new Scripps Sports Network brings you closer to the game.
Now on your favorite channel.
Katie, what do you have for us today?
Shop Scripps, the hottest destination for today's latest deals. Featuring everything from safety to beauty and everything in between. The latest in tech, home and garden must-haves, travel and everyday upgrades. It's everything you love to shop with exclusive deals at unbeatable savings.
31% off, 50% off, 87% off.
The best deals live at shopscripps.com.
Weekdays on Scripps News. Start your day at 7 with Morning Rush. At noon, watch live coverage with Scripps News on the scene. And at 5, get the latest headlines on happening now in America, only on Scripps News.
As the countdown to the Kentucky Derby continues,
in the Kentucky Derby,
Tom Carpenter is gearing up for something extraordinary, his 60th consecutive Derby.
It's been a bucket list for me, but 60 times in a row.
His first trip back in 1967 started as a college road trip and turned into a lifelong tradition.
It started as a road trip with some of my fraternity friends in University of North Carolina. We decided to take a road trip, and after that, haven't missed a year since.
Carpenter says the Derby experience has evolved, but the excitement never fades.
It's a sporting event, but it's a social event. And it's the only thing I know of that people dress up to go to a sporting event. And they really dress up.
Over the years, he's met legends.
I got an opportunity to meet Secretariat and see him about 6 times.
the Secretariat
and rekindled a childhood love for horses.
I grew up on a farm, and that's kind of the dream when I got married.
Now he and his wife have their own Lexington farm, Meadowwood Farm.
We bought it right in the middle of COVID and have done a new barn and fences, and we have raising thoroughbred brood mares, and we hope maybe someday to have a horse running on Derby Day.
Even a pandemic couldn't break his streak. When he couldn't get into Churchill Downs, he watched from a scissor lift across the street.
We made arrangements to park it right across the street on the backstretch at the Veterans of Foreign War, and we were able to go up and down and watch. We could see the finish line, we could see the chute, and we watched the Derby from what we call the skybox.
Now, as he prepares for Derby number 60, Carpenter says the experience is something everyone should see at least once.
I encourage people to, if they haven't been, to get over there and see it in person.
And if you are going,
you got to watch the mint juleps.
Molly Dimrow, Scripps News Group.
I'm Molly Hudson, your Chandler reporter. I sat down with the owners of So Happy and found out how a local couple ended up with a contender at Churchill Downs.
The name says it all. Anna and Hans Marin have attended the Kentucky Derby for years as fans. This year, they walk in as owners.
Never really thought we'd be in this position, honestly.
Horse racing has been Hans's passion for decades. The couple rekindled that love in 2015, and last year they bought a colt named So Happy. Anna chose the name, blending the names of the horse's mother and father.
He's not like a workman-like horse. I mean, he trains hard, but he kind of likes to have fun.
The fun turned serious fast. A dominant win at the Santa Anita Derby punched their ticket to Louisville.
He just showed up and, ran, beat the dance off of them and won by, 2.5 lengths. And here we are. Now we're at the Derby.
The stakes are historic for everyone on the team. It will be the first Kentucky Derby for trainer Mark Glatt. And if So Happy wins, jockey Mike Smith would become the oldest rider ever to take the Roses.
I was reading statistics about it, and less than 1% of horse owners ever get to the Derby. So I'm like, oh my God, that's us.
Years of passion, a significant investment, and now one race away from history.
We've always enjoyed it, like I said, and this time is just unbelievable.
Jesse Palmer.
Emmett Smith?
Both of us together? This must be some kind of TV fantasy.
Nope, it's reality. Tableau reality. Tableau lets you watch, pause, and record live TV subscription-free.
Pause you, Jesse. I'm here for 100+ channels. News, reality, movies, free live sports. Plus, it's game time.
Tableau. It's not fantasy, it's reality.
And a smart play.
Learn more at TableauTV.com.
The MVP of TV.
Congratulations, Scripps News, on 5 Emmy Award nominations.
Is the home of women's sports. We celebrate the trailblazers, the risk takers, the game changers, and the history makers. Every game, every moment, it's her time on ION, the home of women's sports.
Get ready to hit the ice. The Professional Women's Hockey League top teams battle it out to see who reigns supreme. The PWHL Walter Cup playoff coverage starts today at 2 on Scripps Sports Network.
Killer's on the loose. We gotta find him.
We've got 30 minutes before he strikes again.
They're officially on the clock now.
Why start killing again now?
We just found a connection.
Go building to building, door to door.
I'll do a cursory examination. We're right on the killer's tail.
I think you just found our serial killer.
Now on your favorite channel,
Katie, what do you have for us today?
Shop Scripps, the hottest destination for today's latest deals. Featuring everything from safety to beauty and everything in between. The latest in tech, home and garden must-haves, travel and everyday upgrades. It's everything you love to shop with exclusive deals at unbeatable savings.
31% off, 50% off, 87% off.
The best deals live at shopscripps.com.
So, who's feeling adventurous?
This is gonna be fun.
How do I look?
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, yeah.
Who will lift the trophy as champions of Major League Volleyball in 2026?
Well executed there.
Watch the Major League Volleyball semifinals Thursday at 7 and championships Saturday at 3. It's on ION.
Well, believe it or not, it has been 20 years now since Devil Wears Prada premiered. So much has, of course, changed in life in those 20 years. Devil Wears Prada 2 officially releases today, and it's aiming to tap into that nostalgia and high fashion that made the first one such a blockbuster 2 decades ago. Even the trailer winks at the idea.
Runway. It's not just a magazine. It's a global icon. A winding road that brings us back together again.
Hello?
Well, look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
Sorry. Who is this? Do you know her? Do I know her? I'm Andy Sachs. Andrea?
She was one of the Emilys.
One of the what?
That looks like a lot of fun. And talk about star power. The question, of course, is will folks go out of their way to watch this sequel? And maybe that question is already being answered. Thursday night, early numbers from the studio show, it's made $10 million in the U.S. and up to $50.5 million already worldwide. The movie cost $100 million to make. People editor-in-chief Charlotte Triggs got to watch the film. Hey, Charlotte, thanks for joining us. And tell us what you can about what this movie is really about and if you think that it lives up to the hype.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I mean, this is definitely going to be a spectacle. People are turning up to see this movie on the affection for the first one. You know what I mean? And there are people who have rewatched the first film like 20 plus times. And so, you know, they've got a guaranteed built-in audience right there. And then I think a lot of people that are going to be watching it are kind of there for the extravaganza of it all. You know, people I sat next to at the premiere, I sat next to Coco Rocha and Christian Siriano. She was wearing a giant ball gown. I mean, I think that might be a little bit much for your regular old movie theater, but people are definitely going and they're method dressing and they're making an event out of it. And then when you're watching the film, a lot of people, I think, will just kind of be looking for all the little winks at their nostalgia for the first movie and trying to kind of, you know, it's just such a remarkable thing that they managed to get those main 4 cast members back together. I think even the actors didn't think that was really likely up until a couple years ago when this all started to pan out. So there's a lot of special chemistry there between them, and I think the fans are really going to enjoy getting to see that.
Did you like the movie? Do you think it does live up to all the buzz?
Listen, I was a massive fan of the first film, so of course I was extremely eager to see this. It is a very colorful, splashy film. I mean, there's like, you know, it's got all the stuff that you were looking for if you're coming back to having seen the first one. It's really incredible fashion. There's sort of some parallels to the first. Instead of a big trip to Paris, they make a big trip to Milan, and you've got some fun special cameos from people like Donatella. You get to see Emily Blunt speaking Italian, which is sort of played for a surprise. I mean, Emily Blunt really, just like in the first one, where she was sort of a surprise breakout star, she kind of steals the show here. I mean, she's incredible. And of course, I have a soft spot for Anne, who was on the cover of our World's Most Beautiful issue. I mean, she just looks amazing in this film, and her character really is sort of like the emotional anchor for the storyline. So I think, if you're a fan, you're going to go into this with high expectations, but I think people will enjoy it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Anne Hathaway being on the cover for World's Most Beautiful. What really struck out about her and in this moment? This is someone that grew up in front of all of us. How did she end up on the cover?
Well, I mean, she is, really the woman of the zeitgeist. She has got 5 films out this year. This one is, a mega blockbuster in the making. And what I find so interesting about her and fascinating about her is that she's been in so many blockbusters, movies that people can quote extensively, that people across lots of generations have seen. So she is like a very famous woman, and she has just been through a lot of ups and downs and has kind of come out on the other side more successful than ever. I really loved that story arc for her, and the way that she talks about it so openly. I mean, she basically says that she felt like she was living in an incredibly awkward phase until she turned, up until her 30s. Most people probably wouldn't believe that, but she says that until she turned 40, she felt so tense and stressed and not able to relax. And then with a little bit of age comes a little bit of wisdom. And she's just living in this new era where she's more relaxed, more fabulous, and more successful than ever. And so I just love that story. And I kind of felt like that is just the quintessential, what we're trying to tell when we tell these stories for World's Most Beautiful.
Charlotte Triggs, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.